UFC Vegas 106 was quite the interesting card. They took your favorite old fighter, they fed him to a young lion, and it went exactly as you expected to. We also lost the co-main event. 10 minutes before that fight was supposed to happen, they said, guess what? Guy has herpes. He's not fighting. You know that's what it was, right?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I do. Yeah.
I think it's herpes.
I guess for you, right? You're used to dealing with this your whole life, the herpes thing, right?
You freeze them off. They're like warts from a frog. It's no big deal.
Really?
I don't.
Is that what you do?
I'm just making shit up. Yeah.
Okay. I was like, wait, is that what you do? I wouldn't know. You know, like
I bet. Yeah, I bet.
Does it get on your face? Is it just like in your balls? Where is it?
I don't know what his. So let's talk about that very quickly. So not about herpes. Every fighter before they compete have to complete medicals. Yeah. Some commissions require an MRI or an annual CAT scan, and you obviously have to do a physical, blood work, vision test, etc. I don't know, and you're cleared before weigh-ins, so I don't know how on fight night they're like, this guy has herpes.
He's got it on his face. It's visual.
So it was herpes. So it was basically a staph infection or herpes simplex.
So herpes that you can like either it's like on your cheek or your face, on foreheads. Like, you know, there's certain fighters that I know that we train with. They like, I don't want to mention their names.
Yeah.
They've got it like they get it on there from years of wrestling. You get it from the mat. It's super fucking easy.
So,
like
but at weigh-ins, he was fine. And then in the back, the commission was like, what's that?
No, probably at weigh-ins, they weren't really paying attention all that much. You know, but then when they got in the back and saw him warm up and, you know, getting ready to put Vaseline on his face, you know, in the back, because most of the time they'll Vaseline you either right there at the back so you can just walk out and fight, you know, under commission's supervision, you know, or they'll Vaseline you right before you walk in the cage. But my thought process is that he showed up, the commission was looking at him, and I mean, maybe Paul Craig saw it at the weigh-ins, was like, hey man, we're face to face. What's on your face? And, you know, if you're somebody that doesn't have it, you're like, I don't want to fucking fight that guy because it sticks with you forever. And now they're linking, you know, herpes. What is it? What's the name of it really? It's
I think it's simplex is the one that's like,
but it's called something now. It's like HPV, right? Is what it's called.
Oh, okay.
So it's
separate, but maybe not.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, it's something along. But now they're linking that to cancer. And so if you're somebody that hasn't had it, you're like thinking to yourself, fuck, I don't want to fight that guy. I can end up getting something. And hell no. Over what? 15 minutes. I'd rather wait 2 weeks and reschedule and fight him again, do another 2 weeks camp and hope it goes my way.
And he was a 4-1 dog. So it's like, yeah, I'm out.
Yeah, right.
And and like wrestling matches, they check you. Like literally, they do the check. You stand there like this, they check you. Some tournaments, it's like naked. Others, it's like, you know, shirt down, anything exposed I need to look at. So
Angelo with this fucking dong hanging out. Go ahead, check me, big boys. Go ahead.
I'm not even gonna cover. Two hands down the side of the leg.
Get on the willy dance, fucking side to side. Listen to the slap off the hips. Bah, 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 bah.
It's a thunder. Overall, it was a pretty good. So we lost a co-main event at the last minute. That sucks. That's annoying. It's kind of brutal. That was going to be probably a pretty straightforward fight, but Paul Craig's been known to pull out some random shit. But we did have some exciting fights. There was a lot of fights that delivered. There was a couple decisions that were back and forth, a ton of fun as well. There was also wild stoppages. There was 3 ladies fights. We had 2 unders hit, so 2 finishes in the female fights. So overall, it was a good card. But what is interesting, and I'm not trying to be a hater, it didn't feel amazing while watching it. I was like, that was fun. That was cool. But I didn't leave at the end of the night being like, you know what? This was a great card. And I think it's because the only fight that mattered for really any division was the main event and the Nursultan Ruzaboyev one potentially. Outside of that, it's like, these were pretty fun fights, but none of these guys are ranked.
No, you know what it is, right? Fun fights. None of the guys are ranked, but also a lot of mismatches. That's why you had a lot of finishes.
Yeah.
When you're watching it, you're seeing it. And from the untrained eye, people at home going, man, he got the submission, or she got the submission, or she did this, she did that. Like, sorry, man. But like those people that won were supposed to win. Like the cards always right after the pay-per-view, they end up like this. They're trying to either get rid of a fighter, okay, or they're trying to build a fighter up. One of the two. And normally it's one of the two. It's both basically. Both things can be the true. I'm going to build this fighter up while getting rid of this one, you know, or they're trying to basically get two fighters that they kind of like, Both of them have a loss. They want to get one of them a win so they could try to build one of them back. Because they've got what 48 pay-per-views or 48 shows a year, and they need to make sure something crazy. So they need to make sure that they've got talent. They can say, hey, coming off of a win. So you've got certain fighters though, like Sadiq Yousef. He's got 3 or 4 losses in a row now. Like, what do you do with that guy?
Oh, I'll tell you what to do with him, Josh. I've done my homework. I'm prepared. I'm ready to go.
This will be the first time I haven't had to carry you on this show. This show right here. This one.
You might have to. The tides will. I will progressively start slurring.
Hopefully my back will hold up, man. Fucking carrying your ass.
Well, here, let's start at the top and work our way down. When I do my recap video, I just keep my captions. I'm not making new graphics for this. So,
it's okay.
We had Michael Morales beat Gilbert Burns, ran through him, wasn't even close. Gilbert got a takedown, but it lasted all of half a second. Michael Morales stood up, immediately separated those hands, turned around, took back over. So I felt like that was exactly how it was supposed to go. Michael Morales was a minus 900 favorite. He was set up to succeed, and he did succeed. So what do we do with Michael Morales, and what does Gilbert Burns do? I've got 2 different options for him. One of them includes retirement, and then I do have a matchup. Okay. What were your thoughts here before I deep dive mine?
But which one do you want first?
Let's start with the losing side. Let's go with Gilbert Burns. What should Gilbert do next?
I mean, look, if you're going to continue with, if I'm the UFC, put on my promoter's hat, okay, which is what I did tonight. I put the beanie on. It's got a little cold in my house because it was really humid outside, so we cranked up the AC, and now my nipples are a little hard. So what I'm thinking right now is if you're going to continue going the way that you're going, Gilbert Burns to be somebody to build up younger talent, Mike Malott. So you basically put him. Mike just came off of a win. They fought recently around the same time. Obviously, there'll be a little bit longer of a suspension for Gilbert Burns because there will be like a 120, 180 day. But then as soon as he's able to train and get back in, probably within 45 days, then they're going to go ahead and look to schedule him for another fight. Do you match him against Mike Malott? That's a big name for him to try to build off of. He probably will not be another main event. They'll probably put him as a first fight or a second fight, on a pay-per-view or somewhere on a bigger card, on a more stacked card than this one was. That's the direction I would probably go with him.
I'm actually a little different there. So I don't think you can use him anymore to build young talent. I think he has too many losses in a row. He's getting finished or dominated, right? He got finished by JDM, competitive outing, but got finished, then just dominated by Sean Brady, and now he just got finished pretty quickly. I don't think you can I think you give him a Mike Malott. I think he ends up being another massive underdog, and the win does nothing for Mike. I think there's 2 options. I think Gilbert Burns is either going to fight another like used up kind of done type fighter, like a Kobe Covington, or retire. I think you go old or done. I don't think you can use him again to build up a young prospect. You just did that 3 times in a row, and he failed all 3 times. Like
wait, you used him 3 times in a row
to build up a young prospect. JDM, Sean Brady, and then now Michael Morales.
Those are not young prospects. Those guys were in the top 5 or 6 when he fought them.
They're not even
young prospects. Those guys are in the top 5. Michael Morales is a guy I would consider a young prospect, be number 12, and Mike Malott's not even in the top 15. So if
I'm going to use Michael Malott for a different matchup,
of course. So then you just had to say that instead of trying to diss on my fucking pick.
I see
on my
the
pick
problem is
because you're trying to use him later.
What would you? So they do Gilbert Burns with Michael Malott. What are the odds on that fight? You're capping those odds. You work for the sports book. What are you doing?
Well, look, Mike Malott. Also, he's coming off one? He's got 1 win now, or 2 wins? Is it 2 now?
2 in a row.
2 in a row. He didn't have a great performance when he lost to Neil Magny. Was it Neil Magny? Correct?
He was winning, not like insane, but he was winning, and then got put in one bad position. Said, "Fuck this, I want out."
Yeah, just basically gassed out and Gilbert. Look, I'm only putting my promoter hat on and thinking to myself, look, Gilbert right now is in a stage where he's gonna. Hey, am I doing it for the money? Probably. I'm doing it for the money right now. Make sure I line my pockets before I decide to go off and do what I want to do after this. Close this chapter of my life. I want to try and cash out as much money as you possibly can to move on to whatever business venture you want to try to do. Mike Malott is a guy that is to me is more beatable than Michael Morales. I'm not saying
he's definitely beatable.
He's going to win, but I would say it's probably a 3-1 favorite for Malott because he's coming off the knockout of Radke,
yeah.
Yeah, if he's coming off the knockout there. But look, we've seen Malott get tired. We've seen him wilt under pressure. And and let's I guess for me, right, Gilbert Burns, look at the guys he lost to, and now he's lost to Michael Morales. And Michael Morales he's not a slouch. On top of that,
he's undefeated, 18-0.
He's huge for the weight. Did you see them inside the cage together? I was like, what the hell? This guy looks like he's a 205 pounder.
I saw that, and I also saw him dancing La Vida Loca wearing women's clothing. You see that video?
I did see that.
I guess it is like every single comment is like, this is a thing in Ecuador where one day a year they all dress up like widows. So I guess it is like a thing, and it wasn't
widows.
Just like caught him on the street. Yeah, specifically widows. Yeah.
Oh, but they're blowing kisses to other people.
It was. I was like, this has to be AI.
It's a little sus.
It was.
I'm using some millennial language here, but I think it's millennial language. Sus stuff. I don't know. It's weird to me.
I think sus counts. Zesty is the new term.
Okay, zesty.
He definitely. It was interesting for sure, and it only makes it more interesting because he's like a good-looking dude that has a fashion sense. So it only plays in. If he was, that's a great-looking dude.
Really?
Yeah, that dude's great looking.
Weren't you the guy that told me Charles Oliveira wasn't a good-looking dude?
Charles Oliveira is a bridge troll compared to Michael Morales. If we had a producer, I'd put up a what the hell? A poll. So too many drinks. A poll in the chat. Actually, just comment. There's about 200 of you. Just comment who is better looking, Michael Morales or Charles Oliveira, and put your bias aside. And remember, Charles.
Well, one's 38 and the other one's fucking 25. So the younger one's gonna probably look better.
You're 53. You're a good looking dude. You're better looking than I am at your age. And I'm 34.
I'm better looking than you at your age, at my age. Yeah, but
right now, if I wasn't a solid foot and a half taller than you,
if you were 19, I'd still be better looking than you.
That's what I'm giving you a compliment. Yeah, I'm way taller, so like I'm more appealing to a broader audience because they're like, oh, this guy can grab things off the top shelf, but like just raw jawline and stuff.
Yeah, that's what stepsills are for, fuckface.
Congratulations.
Like, and not to mention, like, despite what people believe, I can fucking jump. White man can't jump, and I'm not just white. I'm Native American and Mexican as well, so I got a little bit of hops, brother.
Oh, anything to get that college money, just checking all those boxes.
No, actually,
American, yes.
Fucking Pocahontas, yes. But with the male version. Fucking Pocahontas, the male version. We all know who I'm talking about. All right.
Well, so listen, with the Gilbert Burns thing, here's with the promoter hat on. If I'm the UFC, I typically, in your case here, will use the aging out popular fighters to build up the new generation, or I send them off, right? I let them retire the way they want to. If you're super popular like Dustin Poirier, he will retire in a reasonable matchup that he could win. If you're not as popular as him, they feed you to the wolves and they just let you get ripped to shreds a million times over. Gilbert Burns is in that not as popular category. So I agree. I don't think they're going to give him a legends type matchup. They'll give him somebody where they want the other person to get a win. Yeah. I think Kobe is a decent option there because I think they want Kobe to get a win because he's still got some juice left. He's not like that old. He's old, but he's not that old. And yes, his last performance was pretty trash, but it was just, he just
understatement.
I mean, he got a cut. He had a few takedowns. Like he's not getting finished. Like, yes, technically there was a stoppage, but it was a cut.
Who did he fight? Who did he fight again?
He lost to Joaquin Buckley, but before that was way worse when he fought for the title and he lost to Leon Edwards. That was the worst performance he's ever had. But in the performance against Joaquin Buckley, I'd have to look at the scorecards. I think he actually had a very competitive first round, and then there was a cut, and the doctor's like, "We're done with this cut." Yeah, so that's sort of how it turned there. But I don't know. You and I are on opposite sides as far as if he should. We're in the same mindset of the UFC is going to use him to give somebody else a win. Yeah. I think it's going to be somebody older. You think it's going to be somebody younger. I also think he should just retire. That's 3 losses in a row. It is a lot of money to walk away from, but
it's guys. Look at the guys he lost to. All guys that are in the top 5. Jim Miller's been around for another 10 years after not being in the top 5, or top 10 or whatever. So it's like, look, he's soaking up as much money as he possibly can, and and laughing all the way to the bank. So if that's what you want to do, then I 100% support it. If you want to make as much money as you possibly can before you ride off into the sunset, get after it, my man, especially with him. Someone who was challenging for the title, in 55 and in 70. Like, I mean, you got to give the guys his due. I know he's probably not as popular as a lot of the other top fighters that were there, but I've always enjoyed watching him fight. I think that the Mike Malott, if you're going to use him, they're going to probably use him for that. After that, if he does lose, I could see them potentially going that whole Legends route. Give him somebody, especially if they have a conversation like, hey, what are we doing with you?
Yeah.
It's 4 in a row, 5 in a row, whatever it is. But if he does go out there and upsets Mike Malott, then there's a lot to be talked about. Maybe we do give him the Colby then, because then at least we can say, hey, Colby can get a win, or maybe not get a win, and we can try to rebuild Gilbert back, or just, hey, make some exciting fights. Build him up against another young opponent that he potentially loses to that we can run with for the next 10 years. But I guess the next question is, where do you go with the winner?
Mike Malott. I think Michael Morales should fight Mike Malott.
Interesting.
Because
okay, but now you have 2 young guys that are extremely talented, that have a bright future. Mike Malott's not even in the top 15. Michael Morales is. Why would you you don't even want Malott to be in the top 15 then? Is that what you're saying?
I think if you have to pick one, right? Because the problem with the 170
you want the
division,
one that dresses like a female. Got it.
Let me take let's get some ethnicity in this top 15 and we'll take the zesty one. But if you have to pick one, the welterweight division right now is a mess. And in a good way. It's open-ended in a good way. We have Islam moving up to fight for that belt. Jack Della Maddalena just won the belt. Bilal Muhammad just lost it. Sean Brady is on a nice little streak. Shavkat Rakhmonov is hurt. Leon Edwards that guy shouldn't be ranked top 5 anymore. It's very clear he can't hang with those elites at this point in his career. Kamaru Usman is going to lose to Joaquin Buckley, so he's going to be in the conversation. Ian Gary is already in the conversation. So when the top 10 is just a crisscross of anybody could have a legitimate argument to fight for that belt. So instead of working your way up, let's just did you watch WWE and WCW back in the day, when it mattered?
I watched WWF, not WWE.
Fair enough.
WWF.
So remember Goldberg? I'm sure you've heard the name.
No, that wasn't WWF. That was
WCW. No, it's WCW.
Okay.
So Goldberg, the way they built up Goldberg, and newsflash, shit's fake. The way they built up Goldberg is they gave him I don't know the number. Somebody will know the number. 200 wins. Quite literally, they gave him an insane amount of wins, and they built him up that way. And then when he was at the top, it didn't matter how many times he lost. He had so many wins to get there. I think let's just go that route with Michael Morales. He's 18-0. He's undefeated. Just keep doing it. Just give him Mike Malott. Let him beat Mike Malott. Then let's see what the division looks like in 6 months from now. Then give him Jeff Neal. Let him beat Jeff Neal. Let's see what the division looks like. There's too many really good guys that have earned a welterweight title shot to just immediately shove Michael Morales in that top, 5-10 mix.
All right. So my opinion is a little bit different. I say you've got a lot of welterweights that are about to age out. Gilbert Burns, Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, Leon Edwards. There's 4 of the top guys. Those guys are about to age out. You need Mike Malott to keep a decent sized record. So you need to make sure he only has that 1 loss. I would not throw him in there. But in the contrary, what I did is I'm stepping on yours, but I'm going to put my foot in my mouth right now because I just started thinking about it. I'm like, I would give him Carlos Prates because of an exciting fight. You know what I mean? I want an exciting fight. 2 guys that will stand and bang. One's crafty and smokes cigarettes, and the other one is just a fucking bulldozer. Just comes forward, throws big, heavy shots. Not crafty at all, just big, heavy shots. It's a big body frame. But yeah, both those guys seem to be like they're going to be around for a long time. So I kind of stepped on my own shit because Mike Malott's not even in the top 15. So now putting him with Michael Morales, you either push him completely out with a loss, or if he does beat Michael Morales because he clips him and knocks him out, now you're like, fuck. Michael Morales is the guy that I kind of wanted to build more. We have a whole country behind him. I know with Mike Malott too, we have all of Canada behind him, but I mean, pretty soon that'll be the 51st state. So you got to be very, at least Alberta will. You just got to be cautious and careful, right? What you do with those 2 guys. Practice. I think the future is bright for the welterweight division. I'd like to see them sign Yaroslav Amosov as well, the former Bellator champion, 27-1. I like to see them bring in some new blood. and have those guys fight. So you've got all these fighters that are there because you got Steven Thompson's going out, Colby Covington is going to be out soon, Gilbert Burns is going to be out soon, Kamaru Usman's going to be out soon, Leon Edwards is going to be out soon. That's 5 guys right there off the top. And Vicente Luque is going to be out soon. Michael Venom Page is going to be out soon. That's 7 guys right there, all gone out of the top 15. You got to keep Mike Malott. You got to keep Carlos Prates. You got to keep Michael Morales. You got to keep them winning. So I guess to shoot myself in my own foot, let's give Malott, let's give Prates, let's give Morales, any of those guys.
Just any old versus young.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're gonna have to do. You're gonna have to give them, the Vicente Luques, the
Wonder Boys over 40.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't even know how old is Jeff Neal? 36.
I don't know. He lives near us,
Oh, he does?
Yeah.
Oh,
he lives in McKinney.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Does he train at
so watch what the fuck you say?
I ain't scared. No.
He's at Fortis, I believe.
Is he? Yeah. I mean, hey, I enjoy watching him fight. So
look how quick that tune changed.
Oh,
hey, he lives very much. I've always been a giant Jeff Neal fan. Love the guy.
I honestly, I have not always been a Jeff Neal fan, and it had nothing to do with just being a fan. He's just one of those guys that kind of gets lost in the shuffle. He never does anything that makes headlines, and nothing against him. It's just the way that it's broke out for him in his career. But Jeff Neal, his fight with Shavkat impressed me, to be honest. I was expecting him to.
He made it 3 rounds. Yeah, he was the first person that. Yeah, well, he made it 3. He didn't finish all 3, but yeah, he got there. I actually have Jeff Neal as a matchup. Well, didn't I take this note? Hold on.
Jeez. See.
Oh, I guess not. I thought I wrote Jeff Neal's name down for somebody and literally wrote your guy. I guess I did.
You might have put it.
Oh, I did.
Yeah.
No, I didn't.
I could see you putting it with somebody else.
No, I must have deleted it because I've got different matchups for the other.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway, I don't disagree with your logic. I originally said Mike Malott, but I see where you're coming from because while I recognize that Kamaru Usman's pretty much done and Leon Edwards I don't think he's retiring soon, but it's pretty obvious. Like this dude's not a viable contender anymore. Like he's gun shy and he was supposed to be a great striker and he's not defending the takedowns. Like who's he beating out of all the names we just listed? So I do think you go, I'll switch my tune here from Morales and Malott and go with the, give him a Wonder Boy, a Luque, like give him one of these older dudes.
Yeah. I mean, look, and give them time. Like you said, give them as many of the older guys as you can right now to build them up. And when those guys decide to push themselves out, they're sitting right there pretty at the top with more experience and more confidence of beating, the older guys. That's really what it's going to come down to.
Because you could go Venom Page as well. Venom is much lower
he's at
ranked.
85 now.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting he's officially.
They still have him in the rankings, but he's at 85. So he's already gone. He's not even in the welterweight division anymore.
Yeah.
So they still have him ranked at 15, but I don't think he's coming back down. He said he's standing at 85.
No, and I keep getting questions not to get, and this is definitely going to trigger a wild, long tangent. I keep getting like people like, oh, do you think Islam is going to win the belt and then come back down? It's like once that dude gets a taste of not cutting that extra 15 pounds, he's never doing that again. There's no way he's going back down to lightweight. No way.
My prediction is this. If he does win the belt, which will be a very tough fight for him, if he does win the belt, he'll defend it one time, and I think he'll bounce. He might
down or bounce out of the sport.
He'll just bounce out of the sport.
There
might be an opportunity. He may try 185. He may, depending on who's champion.
He'd be the first 3-division champ ever. I was hoping to be Alex Pereira, but that ship is that ship has not sailed, but it looks like it has.
It's getting close. He's 38 years old.
He's 30. Yeah, he's not young. And
no, but it's easier to do it in the heavier weight classes because and especially in the
power
weight classes, you got 85, 205, and heavyweights are all the weakest weight classes. But I don't see him beating Aspinall. Outside of catching Aspinall,
he'll just take him down immediately.
Absolutely. Aspinall is just a true big body frame, and extremely athletic, extremely mobile for a heavyweight. It's unthinkable. Like he's phenomenal.
It's a lot of weight to move too. Yep. We didn't have the official co-main event, but we did get a co-main event. the Sadiq Yousef fight turned into the co-main event against Myron Santos. What were your thoughts on this fight, and who do you have matched up? Let's start with the loser and then go with the winner. What do you think to do with Sadiq Yousef now, who's on a 3-fight losing skid?
Yep. Yeah, he's on a 3-fight, and look, whoever I'm going to give him, I'm going to try to give him somebody that's going to beat him. And who do I think right now is kind of on his way up and having a comeback? And after being in the UFC at a young age and too young, I felt like, in his baby face and all the other things, I would give him Chase Hooper.
Okay.
Chase Hooper coming off the win over Jim Miller. You gotta start building him up even more. Hey, now Yousef has a name. Yousef's been around. Sure, he's got some losses, but I can also say, like, hey, this is a good body style for him. Let's go ahead and have him fight. If he can get this fight to the ground, he can dominate and control. And let's see if he's ready for that. I think Chase Hooper is finally, grown into his body, and
he's a man.
He's kind of a man now. So he's also a young fighter. I think this is a good fight for him to have success. He looked great against Jim Miller. I think this is a good fight for him to get a win.
So you're going okay. So you're basically saying
the young stars on the old guys right now.
See, I'm gonna go that route, but the opposite direction, because I don't think Sadiq is done just yet. I think Sadiq Yousef should fight Rafa Garcia. Rafa Garcia just beat Vince Pichel. Rafa's a pretty inconsistent guy. He just got his win over an old man. He's not really going to do anything, right? Rafa Garcia is never going to be top 15, top 20 even. He's going to have a couple of exciting fights, a little older. He seems like he doesn't care at all anymore. To begin with, he barely beats a 41-year-old Vince Pichel. I think Sadiq Yousef is still a very good fighter, and he's just had some pretty shit matchups. So I think you give Sadiq Yousef to Rafa Garcia, and you just see how that plays out for you.
Yeah, see, I used Rafa Garcia later on in the card.
Oh, you already have him on here?
Yeah, I've got him already on there down further.
I don't believe you.
No, I do. I'm gonna go either with Rafa Garcia for against Gabriel Green.
Oh, I didn't even bother matching him
it's
up.
okay.
He's so far out of the.
I only picked Gabe Green and Rafa Garcia on Tapology. They're very close in the rankings. So
I've got a lot of complaints about that Gabe Green fight. We'll get there. I got a lot of complaints about that fight.
You can complain all you want. I just don't give a shit. Okay, my point is that Gabe Green is someone that will stand and bang. He'll trade it out. He'll get hit. He'll take shots. And Rafa Garcia is just right now just doesn't care, like you said. You just admitted, like he's someone that just looks like he wants to just put on fun fights. So let me just see that fight. That's the fight that I want to see. And like I went with the Gabe Green and the Gordon, and even Gordon. We'll talk about that too in a little bit. But anyways, I went with Chase Hooper for Sadiq Yousef. Who'd you give Santos?
Santos, so obviously he's built a nice little resume for himself. Santos has a couple of good wins. He won the Ultimate Fighter. He's putting things together. I have Mike Davis. Mike Davis was a prospect that fuck? They were building up
to it like Mike Davis.
That was dramatic effect.
Yeah.
Oh, what's he gonna say? Mike Davis. So Mike Davis is a guy that has looked unbelievable. His last fight was against Faraz Ziam. He looked like he forgot how to wrestle. None of it made any sense. It was a terrible outing, but he is still very good. And I think he's a great barometer to see how good and well-rounded Myron Santos actually is. And if Myron beats him, great. Let's build up Myron. If Myron loses, it's like, okay, well, Mike Davis was a prospect. Let's get him back to that. Looks like he just had one bad night in his previous fight.
Yeah, for me with Myron Davis, I actually went with David Onama. I want to see a little bit more striking. I want to see how he can handle the length of Onama. Look, I wanted to see a better fight out of Sadiq Yousef and Santos. It sucked. It was boring. It should have been a lot better a fight. Well, Onama is going to use his reach, his range. And if you don't get after Onama, he's just going to fucking beat the shit out of you from range. So he's going to have to mix it up and use up all of his tools. I want to see how he does that and see if he even deserves to be even talked about right now, even making a push towards the rankings at all. Because right now, David Onama is, I want to say he's ranked like number 24 or something like that, somewhere in that mix. Oh, sorry, number 21. He's ranked number 21.
And Onama's good. He's always good. He shows up. Like, he's a pretty well-rounded guy. Like,
he's not on the ground either. He's not bad. He's got a couple little tricks up his sleeve that he does on the ground. But I mean, on the feet, I think it's going to be a fun fight.
That actually could be a very good match. It honestly, that matchup could and should be what this was supposed to be. Two high-level strikers that get after it. Instead, there was a staring contest because neither one of them wanted to engage.
Here's my thing though. Sadiq Yousef is one of those guys. He just shows up some nights, and the majority of the time he doesn't show up. It was the same thing with the guy who went over to PFL and Bellator. Mark Takesi.
Oh, Mark Takesi.
Takesi. Same thing with him. Like he came in as a striker, and all of a sudden now you're a wrestler.
Yeah.
It just was really strange and weird. I don't know. Like they have explosiveness, they're good on the feet, but they're gun shy. And when they get gun shy, they all of a sudden turn into wrestlers. And so with Yousef, he just didn't pull the trigger, and the fight was boring last night because of it. So when I look at Yousef, I put him with Chase Hooper. With Santos, I put with Onama. Onama's going to drag that out of him. He's going to make Santos fight.
Yeah.
So bring it, don't bring it, whatever, but I'm going to fucking touch you from 10 feet away because I got fucking long ass arms and long ass legs. So I'm going to touch you whether you like it or not. Now you're going to have to fight back. So I think that makes for an interesting fight. See if we can pull that excitement out of Santos that we know we can get.
We got a couple of good comments here for matchups. Halftime 93 fanboy says, let's give Santos to Tom Nolan. That's not a terrible matchup either. Tom Nolan, long, rangy striker who just finds finishes and makes things happen. I don't think that's a bad match. I think if I want to see somebody who will engage with Santos, entertain the actual striking, not be afraid of him, just come forward. I don't want another point fight match, right? Like get after it and let's see what happens when there's some chaos.
No, I agree. That would be good. All right, you got Rusblev versus and then Stolfstis. I don't know how you say his last name. Is it
Stoltzfus? Yeah.
Yeah. How do you have that matchup? Let's go with Stoltzfus first.
Yeah, so Dustin Stoltzfus is in an interesting spot here because while he did lose this fight, he showed some heart. He was pretty durable. He kept blindly just moving forward and absorbing whatever punishment came his way. For Dustin Stoltzfus, I have Michel Pereira because I think Michel beats him, and they need Michel to get a win, right? He's a popular guy. He's still young, despite having 40-something fights and looking like he's 50. He is like 34 years old or 33. He's a young dude. And I think Michel Pereira, between us girls, I think he tanked his last fight so he doesn't have to give all the money up in the divorce. That's a separate topic. But I think Michel Pereira.
There's out here, right? You're throwing conspiracies around.
I think Michel Pereira versus Dustin Stoltzfus is a really good fight because Dustin will get after it. Michel will get after it. Dustin was typically pretty chinny, but he didn't look very chinny last night. I think that's a really good matchup. And if all of a sudden Dustin gets a win, whatever, right? Michel's on a little bit of a skid. He's been there before. They'll build him back up. If Michel does get another highlight win, he's back. Let's go.
All right, so I'm going to take this another direction because they're ranked number 27 and 28 in the rankings. I'm going to go with Bo Nickel.
Oh, shit.
Give him, because Stoltzfus is actually ranked one spot higher than Bo Nickel. So I'm going to go with Bo Nickel. Give up Bo Nickel an opportunity to rebuild yourself back up. And Stoltzfus is either going to get a huge win and an opportunity, which I think that Bo, beats him. But I'm simply saying on the feet, we're going to see if Bo's willing to stand and trade after the last performance or if he's going to go to wrestling. And Stoltzfus has got a really good arm in guillotines, good at chasing the neck. I mean, he jumped the gilly too many times against Rusblev, and it just didn't work. So I'm going to go with Bo Nickel.
I don't hate that matchup because honestly, I kind of forgot about Bo Nickel here because
his last fight was forgettable.
It was very forgettable. And I think with Bo, we'll find out more about that loss with RDR's next fight, right? He lost to RDR. RDR is fighting, who the hell is he fighting? Robert Whittaker. So if RDR smokes Robert Whittaker, it's like, all right, hey, Bo Nickel might have just lost to the future middleweight champion of the world, and all of a sudden he's not as dog shit as everybody said.
Look, no matter what. We're trying to spruce it up with some fucking flowers and shit. And that's
I don't hate that matchup. That's a solid matchup. And somebody just commented right here, halftime again. We got 200 people watching, and the only one with any sense in the comment section is halftime. So thank you, halftime. He said Ruzaboyev wants Bo Nickel. I think you could actually use Bo Nickel on both sides, but the Stoltzfus Bo Nickel fight isn't terrible because it's basically what I was doing with Michel Pereira. Use him to get somebody else a win. And I was looking at it, I was like, Michel Pereira needs a win. Let's get it to him. But Bo Nickel needs a win as well.
Bo's the bigger name.
Yes.
Bo's
Yes.
the bigger name.
Use
Bo
him on
needs to
Bo,
win.
yes.
This is a more winnable fight. Bo fighting Ruzblev is a good chance he'll lose. You know,
Yes,
especially
very,
right
very
now.
good chance. Yeah.
And so that's what you don't want is for him to take two
Yeah.
in a row. And then he may never fight again, which is kind of a little bit of you're getting the wrestling market to watch when you have Bo Nickel. You're getting that whole North Texas to watch when you got Bo Nickel, you know. And so that's kind of where I'm at on that. The Ruzblev fight, though, you know what fight really interests me with him?
Let's hear it.
Brad Tavares.
Okay. Sure.
I want to see that fight.
Yeah, I'll take that because Brad Tavares. Uh-oh. What did we get, Josh?
Tornado.
A warning until 10:15.
Jeez.
Oof. I guess we'll rely on our wives to tell us if we need to hunker down.
Well, good thing you're drinking, buddy.
we just put in a giant, not a giant because our closet's not that big. We just put in a metal shelter in our closet.
Oh, nice. I've been thinking about doing one. We also have right in the middle of our house is our pantry.
Yeah, you're good then.
Yeah, we should be good. Yeah, we should be.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, you should be good. We don't we do have our pantry, but there's no way we fit in the pantry. I think. Oh, they're blowing the horns too. We do have the pantry, but I don't know. My Tiff's an actual Texan, and she was like, I just want it. It wasn't that much.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, fine. I'm not getting in this stupid thing, but fine.
Yeah, you are.
It's in the closet. Like it's pretty small. It's like steel that they bolted to the foundation of the house, and they just go in and lock it and wait 15 minutes. But I think with Nursultan Ruzaboyev, I did Abus Magomedov. I actually took Abus beat Michel Pereira, so I actually used them both. I think Abus, he's on a nice little streak here. He's pretty good. He's going to be a great test for Nursultan. Like, how good is Nursultan? What is he actually able to do? I'm fine. Tiff was like, we got to go. I think Abus is I think Abus is a good person to test Nursultan for real.
Okay. Are you all right?
She's like yelling at me to go into the shelter. Do you hear the tornado or the siren?
I can hear it through your microphone.
Yeah.
I don't hear it over here. So maybe it's just on your side of the country.
Or we just have I just have the sirens right here.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, they're all in the park. It's loaded up.
Oh, wow.
Oh, and here's bad news for you, Brett. There you go.
There it goes. I got it. I'm a little late. There we go. Take shelter now in basement or interior room on the lowest floor of a sturdy building.
All right. Should we just take shelter at this point before our wives rip us to shreds?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
And then we'll bounce back on if it goes away.
Yeah, I'll run this back in 20 minutes or so. Guys, thanks for the watch. Sorry we can't control Mother Nature. Hopefully we'll be back in a few.
All right. Bye.
All right. See ya.